Hello and welcome to the City of Games. My name is Frank and today I'm going to be playing the Isle of Cats Duel. Now keep in mind this is a playthrough, and if you'd prefer just to see how to play the game, there's also a rules video which you're welcome to check out. Now the island is in danger and we are on a rescue mission to save as many cats as we can before the evil Lord Vesh arrives and destroys their home. And this time it's a duel, so we want to prove once and for all that we are the best at rescuing cats. So let's get to the table and see how it plays. As you can see, the game is set up and I've got two player boards in front of me. Over here we're using the penguin side and over here we're using the turtle side. Players can choose whether they want to use the same or different sides, and in this instance we're using different sides just to show you how they look. Now, we're going to start with the penguin player, and quite simply, on our turn, we're going to move the Oshaks 2 spaces. You have to always move 2 spaces, you're not allowed to move less, and you're not allowed to end up on the same spot that you started on. So let's have a look at the island and see what we've got available. We've got a treasure card over here, a number of cat tiles, and 4 lesson cards. We've got 1 point per 2 cats touching the edge of your boat, 12 points if there are no empty spaces at the edge of your boat, so these combo up quite nicely, 12 points if you have exactly 5 visible rats on your boat, and 9 points if you have exactly 5 blue cats on your boat. So we probably want to work towards getting at least 1 or 2 of these early on so that we have things to work towards. These combo up quite nicely. To be honest, these do as well, because if we're going around the edge, leaving some space in the middle with a few rats is not going to hurt us. But I think to start with, we just want to start having a look and think about what are we going to do. Filling up the edge of our boat is quite challenging on these boats at times, and we do want to kind of consider the fact we've got this orange bit here and this orange cat here. So this could be quite nice as a starting point just to kind of get us going. So we're going to move 2 spaces over here, take this orange cat, and we're going to place it over here. And then I think from there, that's going to give us a treasure for covering the orange treasure map with an orange cat, so we can place a treasure on our boat and perhaps start working up in this direction. That's going to help us a little bit with just starting to fill up some of that edge space. Now, our turtle player, what are they going to do? They're thinking that they'd quite like to get some lesson cards as well, just to give themselves something to work towards early on. There's plenty of cats that are going to come later, so maybe we'll work towards getting this no empty spaces. But what I'm thinking is if we come down here and take this, then we've got that lesson card. But if we were to move 1, 2 spaces over to here, we could take this one, which is having 1 point per 2 cats touching the edge of your boat, and the Oshaks is now more than 2 spaces away from this point over here, so perhaps we'll be able to combo up and get both of them unless the penguin player opts to use fish to move additional spaces, and at this point they're probably not going to. So a penguin player is thinking, well, I've got 1 orange cat, there's another orange cat there, maybe that's going to be a good place for me to move to. I'm not too sure, I can't really get to any lesson cards just yet. What's the point in taking the purples and reds when I can just continue working my way through with that orange? And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move across 1 and 2, and I'm going to take this orange cat and I'm going to place it on my boat. Ideally, I'd love to be able to use it to cover these rats. I don't have that option, so instead I think I'm simply going to place it here, start filling in from the middle, giving myself lots of room to expand that family if I can later with more orange cats, and still giving myself some access. Our turtle player is thinking this worked out perfectly for me. I can now get that second lesson card that I really wanted to take. And you know what? I think that I'm probably going to just keep options open, so I don't really mind where the other player goes at this point. I'm going to move them over to this direction so that they've got a wide choice and perhaps leave me in that wide area, and I'm going to take this lesson card for having crossed it. So now I'm going to get points for filling the edge of my boat and for having cats touching the edge of my boat, which is great, but I've not yet taken any cats. Our penguin player is now thinking, I need to get some lesson cards. What do I want to do? I really need something. They've already taken 2, which are really good. Do I want to restrict myself from the rats? It's not really too beneficial for me just yet to do that. But instead, maybe I could take this one and start working towards blue cats. There's no blue cats yet available, but We're going to play through 4 rounds, and we know we're going to be likely to see at least some blue cats, if not at least 5 or 6. We may see 7, 8 or 9 of them. So we are definitely going to have that opportunity. So I think we're going to move up here, come down to here, which is our 2 spaces, limiting our turtle players' options a little bit, and we're finally going to take a lesson card. A big part of the Isle of Cats Duel is not just about what do you want and how do you get it on your boat, but it's about this positioning. It's about where you leave the Oshak's piece so that when the other player's turn starts, you're limiting their options or you're controlling where they can move to give you access to other things that you potentially want that they may not know about. So our turtle player is now thinking, we've got 2 cards. Do we want to take this card? That's a lot to ask at this point, because that is going to be to not cover 5. And the challenge we've got is we've got to go around the edge. So we've got these 3 rats here, which are kind of in the middle, but a lot of the rest of them are quite close to the edge. So I'm not sure leaving 5 visible is going to be very easy for us without leaving like multiple rooms unfilled. Maybe this one over here, we could try and slip around the back, but that is asking quite a lot for us. And at this point in time, I don't know. I'm really tempted to work towards it, but it feels like we're going to really push ourselves. We're so far through this first round, and we've yet to take a cat, and we're here to rescue cats, but we do want to make them happy. So what do we want to do? I think there's some purple cats. These purple cats are so great for what we're going to do, but you know what? Let's go absolutely mad. Let's work for that lesson card. Let's see how far we can push ourselves. We're going to go for exactly 5 visible rats. We're going to fill the edge of our boat, and we're going to get as many cats as we can around the edge. Our penguin player feels like they've already won the game. This is absolutely absurd of the turtle player to work towards, but now they've got to focus on themselves. We need to get blue cats. We don't have blue cats. I think, though, we probably want to start working towards something. There's lots of greens, there's lots of purples. We've got our purple treasure map up here. So you know what? Let's come over here, work down here, take this purple cat, and then this can start working up here for us. Placing this here is not necessarily ideal because it is going to restrict access to that. So you know what? Instead, I think we're simply going to flip it. We're going to place it like this, activate the treasure straight away. We're going to take a treasure tile and we're going to place it over here. So we've managed to backfill that space with the purple cat and expand our purple family in this direction, orange in this direction, feeling good. Our turtle player really wants to get some of these purple cats because they are going to be good for this area, but equally, any cats will be good right now. And I think that if we come up here, we also have some good options to start filling up this space. What I'm thinking is if we were to go 1, 2, coming down to this space, we could take this tile, we could place this one here, flipping it around onto the green treasure, leaving this space, but straight away we can take a treasure and start filling in that end area. And I think that works quite nicely for us. That gives us an option. As a green cat, that end is now filled, which is quite a tricky space. We're going to start working round. We're going to aim to leave these 3 rats, and these 2 rats, I think, are going to be the ones we don't cover in an ideal situation to get that objective. But that's where we're at. Our penguin player, well, there's another purple cat. They've started working towards purple, and whilst they're not going to have much option for filling this area, I think that just taking that purple cat is going to be good for them. They might as well just start filling up this family, start filling in some room here, covering these rats, and I think that's good. Our turtle player wants to get this green cat. They're going to start now being a bit mischievous, so what they're going to do is come over here and come back here and take the green cat. Now, what this is going to do is it is going to restrict the penguin player's options quite considerably on their turn. And we're going to take this and place this down here. Over to our penguin player, now they've got some interesting decisions. They can either opt to move over to take the red cat, or they could opt to move somewhere and just not take anything, or they could spend some fish. Now, arguably, they really want that purple cat, so they want to work towards getting that purple cat. We can probably determine that the other player is going to take the green cat. So what this means is we could move over and take the red. They'll probably come down and take the green, but then we're not going to have the option to get up to the purple, which is not great for us. So do we want them to get the green? Do we want to get the red? So what I'm thinking is actually we're going to move 1, 2, and 3, spending one of our fish to move that extra space, and we're going to take that green cat, denying it for the other player and allowing us to spread across in this direction. This is going to fill this area really nicely, Philly sitting within that room, moving towards the green treasure, leaving them unable to take purple unless they want to spend that treasure. And we're thinking that's a good result for us. Obviously, not ideal for our turtle player, but they can see what's happening. They're going to come over here and take the red cat because they need to get as many different cats as they can anyway. And, it doesn't quite fit as nicely as I was hoping for it to fit. So I think we are going to end up just having to flip it this way. But that's okay, because now we know the other player, the penguin's going to come over here and take the purple, leaving the second red for us to continue. And likewise, this has not worked out in the best possible way for us because we've left that one space, but we can probably fix that in a short while. Over to our turtle player, they're going to move over, coming back over to this space, taking this red cat, and this has worked nicely. It's going to allow us to move across, and now back to our penguin player, who's simply going to move across, take the treasure, and end the round at this point. So this round's worked out quite nicely because we have taken all of the pieces, which is not that common, and we have managed to get a nice start. That one treasure is going to come down here. We're also going to now take another treasure to fill in this space up here, and that's worked quite nicely. And on top of that, we've left the Oshaks in that bottom left-hand corner, which means that our turtle, who's going to start the next round as the player turn order alternates, is going to have limited options for where they start from. Ideally, you want the Oshaks in the middle for yourself, and if you're not going to be the starting player, you want it in a corner. So that's the end of the round. We have got nothing to clear off from here. So instead, we are going to now simply refill the board. We are going to get out our 5 cards, and our starting player is going to get to choose one of the tiles that will go back into the discovery bag before we take them out. At the moment, we've got green and red. There's no green and red there. We know that the other player wants blue, so we're not going to put the blue in. Orange could be beneficial for us, so we're going to take one of these orange tiles and place it back into the bag. These tiles up here act as a round tracker, but they also give you a bit of an understanding about the probabilities of what colors might come out, as if something is there, then obviously it's not in the bag and is not going to be able to come out just yet. So we are going to move into the second of 4 rounds, and we are going to put out our new tiles. I'm going to put these out fairly quickly just so we can keep going, and then our turtle player is going to start. They would like to see lots of green and lots of red coming out, and there has been, would you look at that, a lot of green. I wish I could always do that, say what I want, and then it just suddenly appears. Okay, let's tidy these up slightly. We've got some green cats over here. Lesson cards. 8 points if you have exactly 2 families at the same size. 9 points if you've got exactly 5 orange cats, and 2 points for every orange and green cat on your boat, whichever you have fewer of. And over here, gain 1 fish for each unique coloured cat on your boat as a maximum of 3. So that could work quite well for us to get some extra fish on our penguin player, or just 2 fish on our turtle player. I think, it's so difficult. I think we want to work towards getting these green cats. There's so many green cats, and there's so many orange though. So we really want to come around the edge. We're trying to fill this outside here, and this would be really good to be orange, but these green cats are just so tempting to build up that big family as well. So I think that what we're going to do is we are going to move 1, 2 straight to the middle, which is not really ideal because that's going to give so many options to our other player. And then, I kind of want to put this here. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's not really fitting much of the edge, but it is doing quite nicely that space. You could argue that we would be better off doing this because it would fill more of the edge, but then it is going to leave that one space. So we are going to put it like this. And I just want to make sure we're trying to fit as many of those gaps as we can. Over to our penguin player. So they've got orange, and there's a lot of orange on the board. There's also an orange here with a fish symbol, which means you get extra fish if you take it. That's feeling really powerful for us right now. And I do think that's probably where we want to go. But that orange cat is just not going to fit nicely onto our boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over here, covering this orange cat as we move across, allowing us to take this, which is going to fit quite nicely on our boat, moving us away from this cat, not allowing the other player to take it on their turn, and hopefully giving us some nice options. Back to our turtle player, and they're thinking, do I want to keep going with the green all the way around the edge, or do I want to go for the orange cats and get that treasure? Now, what's really important is that I do need to fill the edge of my boat, and I do need some good control. Is moving over to orange really going to help me that much? But equally, I don't want blue cats, and there's only green and orange, so if I don't take the orange, then I'm kind of limiting myself a little bit. And that is quite challenging for us. So what do we want to do? Maybe we want to come over and get a lesson card. Having two families the same size could be quite good for us. So what I think is that we'll come across here, move across here, bounce back, take the orange. We are going to then just place this here because that's going to help fill a lot of the edge of our boat. We're going to get to take a treasure and we're going to fill that space. What I don't like at the moment, so I'm spending a lot of time using treasures to fill gaps, which I'm making in order to take those treasures. I'm not using them to kind of solve previous problems. I'm using them as part of the tile I'm placing, which isn't great, but we'll see what happens. Over to our penguin player. So now they're thinking, well, I can't get to orange yet. My plan kind of fell through. But I have got a lot of orange cats. I've got a green cat, so maybe 2 points per orange or green, whichever I've got fewer, is going to be good for me if I do get some greens. Perhaps at this point then, I just want to take the fish option. I'm basically going to pass my turn by taking this, so I don't get anything, except for it does allow us to have one fish for each unique coloured cat on my boat. I've got 3 different coloured cats. That is going to give me 3 fish, so that allows me to do more stuff later on. You can use fish to do extra moves, to jump somewhere, to take treasure, or to simply take extra things on your turn. So basically, I'm kind of taking away an option now to give myself an option later on. Our turtle player is not quite expecting that, but they are thinking I could have 2 families of the same size. So, you know, I'm going to take that. They're really working towards their lesson cards, really building them up. But I think it's time for our penguin player to do the same. They're going to jump across and take this as well and hope that the other player does not take this orange tile. 9 points if you've got exactly 5 orange cats. We're going to get 3 orange cats. We're going to need 2 more. And then 2 points per orange and green looks really promising to us if we can get that as well, because then we can start building up the green. Our other player does want orange cats. They are looking at this thinking that would be quite nice for us. Is it going to be more beneficial than this one? They're kind of not too different in the sense of what they're going to cover for us. But what I do think we're going to do is we are going to take this. We are going to place this over here. And then, yeah, no, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to move down. We're going to move across. We're going to place this over here. And that's going to allow us to take a fish for having the fish icon on here, leaving the Oshax in the middle. Our penguin player really did want that, but that's okay. They're now thinking, I do want this. So they're going to come across, move across and take this. And now you can see the battle of the lesson cards is building up. Over here, we want to fill the edge of our boat, leaving some of these rats and having 2 families the same size. Over here, we want to get lots of blue cats, which we should have remembered when we had these blue cat options up here. And we also want to get 5 orange cats and then a bunch of green cats. So what's going to happen? Our turtle player is going to go next. What are they thinking? Well, we've left this option here for greens now, so really the orange is the best way for us. I think that we want to continue the orange round just to keep ourselves going as much as we can. So we are going to move up and move across, take the orange, and we're going to place it here, which will cover that purple treasure map, but that's okay. We need to work our way around as much as we can. Back to our penguin player. They're thinking, I want to get some greens as I basically want everything that's on the board right now. So what is going to be the best option? I don't care about the edge. I do want to fill rooms as much as possible. So filling this room would be quite nice for us. And that probably means that we want to come up here and take this green cat because that nicely fills that space. Over to our turtle player. They don't really care right now about the orange. There is no orange. They kind of would like to take some green, I guess, just to help fill up the rest of that space. We want to fill that room. That is not going to give us that option. And we also want to make sure that we're filling up some of this edge over here. So we've got blue coming up. So maybe we could do a switch to blue. We could take this, place it here, leave the 2 ones, which is not ideal, but we're going to put pressure onto the other player to take the other blue, which would give us access to the treasure. So that does seem possible for us. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move over here, take the blue, place it here. That's going to help us start filling that edge. Now it's over to our other player. Our penguin player is thinking, I need blue, but what can I get to? I can't actually get to anything right now. And that is really not ideal because I have to spend fish to get somewhere. I can't get to any of these spaces. So the other player has now kind of trapped us in a little bit, and that's not ideal for us. So I think what we're going to do is, we would like that blue cat. We really would. So if we move somewhere and they take it, which they probably are going to do, that's not going to be great for us. So I think we need to give them options. If we move across to the middle, that's going to give them as many options as possible without allowing them to get to that blue cat. Now, importantly, we can't take anything this round or this turn. If 2 players in a row, so both players don't take anything, the round just ends and everything gets discarded. So it's over to our turtle player, and they could just move back to this corner, not take anything, and the round would be over. But we know we want to get this treasure, so we're going to come down here. That's more important to us, to take those 2 1-by-1s and to try and fill those spaces. That could have been really problematic for us if we didn't do that. Now to the penguin player, they're going to move over here, taking the blue cat, getting their blue cats on the way because they are working towards having 5 of them and leaving the Oshaks over in this corner. So what's really interesting at this point is exactly what we just said. Our turtle player can't get to one of these tiles without spending fish. And how much do they really care about those 2 tiles? Are they important enough? What is this tile going to do for us? We could place it over here, fill 1 square. Do we really want to do that for a single fish? It's not really that beneficial. So what I think we're going to do instead is we're going to move over to here. We're not going to take anything. And now it's back to our penguin player. Now, they would quite like these green cats because they are going to get points for whatever they've got fewer of, green or orange. And at the moment, they do want to work towards us. And oh my goodness, I've blocked off my orange cats. I need to get exactly 5 orange cats. I'm not going to get 2 orange cats in there. What have I done to myself? That is appalling positioning. And now I've got to spend fish. I've got a lot of fish though. Do I want to work towards the fish? I need to try and recover from this. I've kind of now made this really problematic for myself, possibly not even worth doing. Oh my goodness. But that means I kind of need to make sure we get that green cat. So I'm going to spend 1 of these. I am going to move that extra space and I'm going to take that green cat. And I think that I'm going to simply place it up here like this, giving myself a little bit of access here rather than leaving the 2 ones, leaving the corner, moving towards that treasure. And now back over to our turtle player. And they're thinking, you know what? I don't need that. I'm not going to spend fish to take that tile. I mean, it would fill a couple of spaces. It's not going to be bad for me, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it. I guess the argument is that we are going to have to fill that with a treasure to not lose the 5 points. And if we were to take this, that would increase our family from a size of 3, which is 8 points, to a size of 4, which is 11. That would give us an extra 3 points. And it would also allow us to have an extra orange cat to build this up. So maybe maybe it is worth it. And I think I am going to spend the fish. I think based on that logic, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. We're going to take the green cat. We are going to place it over here because even if I place it here, we're still going to need a treasure and the 1x1s are running out. So instead, I'm going to... Oh, I don't want to place it here because it's going to cover that. I was hoping to be able to fill some of this room, but maybe we're going to just leave this central room empty and have that rat and maybe just one of those rats. And maybe that's going to be better for us because I don't think there's a good way for me to really use this and cover that and not cover that rat. So, oh, it's a difficult one. I think we're going to stick with it over here then. We are going to just stick with it over here and just use it. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea. That didn't feel great, but that's the end of the round. It's now going to go over to our penguin player. They want these blue cats, so we are going to put a blue cat back into the bag, and we're going to get these 5 cards out. We are now halfway through the game, and the fish is going to start coming in more and more because we do want to make sure we're using them, and we want to use them to achieve as many of our lessons as we can. So 2 new lesson cards there, 15 points if you have 3 or more cats of each color. Oh, that is definitely doable right now. 7 points if you have 1 or more of each color cat touching the edge of your boat. Our turtle player, oh, I don't know if that's asking too much. I mean, they've already got the red, the green, the orange, and the blue. They would only need a purple. But the problem is, can they afford to keep taking more lesson cards and actually achieve them all? I think they've taken 4. Can they really take a 5th just to kind of take that card? I really am unsure about that. And then take 1 tile from the bag at random and immediately place it on your boat. So that is going to give us the kind of get a random tile card, which potentially is going to be beneficial for us, but equally it may not be. At the moment, it's not too bad because we don't have the limits over here. We obviously want 5 orange and 5 blue, so that could be problematic. But let's see where we're going to go. We've got a blue, an orange, and a purple touching the edge. We're probably going to have a green touching the edge, so just a red, and that would give us that. We've got 3 orange, 3 green, 3 purple. We want to get 5 blue. So are we going to get 4 blue and 3 red to achieve this? 4 blue, 3 red, 2 orange. That seems... oh my goodness, that does seem too much. Doesn't that seem too much? And I don't know if we're going to get these oranges in though, because I'm looking at this thinking that orange does not fit that gap. So maybe we're just going to have to sacrifice this. And if we're sacrificing that, we need to work towards something else because look at all of these. But right now, there's nothing really great on there that's standing out to me. And I think that I just need to make sure we get these blues. That is the most important thing for us right now. And we probably just want to do that. So I think we're going to move down here. We are going to take that blue and we are going to place it here. Oh, I am tempted by taking that other lesson though. I really am, but I don't think right now I'm going to take it over to our turtle player. So what are they thinking? They're thinking, well, we could do with that orange cat because we've got 4 greens. That would give us 4 oranges, which would give us our pair. We still need to fill quite a lot of the edge of our boat, and this all wants to be blue. There's a lot of blue going on right now. This one would have been ideal into this space, but we can't get to it because we need to cover that square. So what is going to be our best option for achieving that? And I feel like this one is going to end up having to be a treasure based on what's there if we want to do this and bring the blue round. So maybe our options are simply to work towards just getting that blue. Maybe if we get this blue, we can bring ourselves down here, giving ourselves access to this corner to get a blue down here, get the treasure, fill that space. And that's feeling quite good to me right now. So we're going to come across, we're going to take this, and we are going to bring this one down here. I think that we can do that. We've still got this for... oh no, because we don't want to cover these rats, do we? We don't want to cover these rats. If we cover those rats, we've got to get 5 rats still visible, and that's just not going to be possible. So we definitely don't want to do that. We don't want to cover those rats. So we actually need to come in a straight line down here, which is going to be really challenging for us. And I don't think we can do that with the current tiles we've got. So we're going to need to do that with treasure. Oh, That's not ideal. Maybe putting that blue cat up there wasn't good because we're not going to be able to get to this without coming through here unless we go round. So maybe we are just going to sacrifice that one off, or are we going to sacrifice this? But that is so many points that we really want to work towards. I don't know what we want to do now. We just don't want to cover that. Is there a way to get some stuff on here? Can we get a blue cat on without doing that and touching that? I think all of them, if we take this one, it's going to come here and cover all three of them. If we take this one here, we're going to be coming in and covering one of them, but we still need to cover that one, which would leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think that's going to be our best option. We're going to come over here, move back up to there, take the blue, and we're just going to have to do this, which is not great at all. But it does allow us a way around the problem we've kind of created for ourselves. I don't know if this is going to be good, but we've got to work our way through it. Over to our penguin player. We have trapped ourselves with these. Maybe we've pushed too far. Our other player, our penguin player, is over here. They're thinking we want to get some blue cats as well. We need to get those blue cats up. I see no reason to not come over here and take this. This is not going to be like the most ideal tile for us in terms of filling space, but it is going to be a good tile for us in the fact that it's a blue cat and we do need to get some blue cats. It's going to give us a fish. We're starting to get a lot of fish, so that's working nicely for us. Over here, our other players thinking, you know what, I think I've screwed up. I'm going to need to take some treasures. I want to fill that space over there, so I am going to take this and I am going to place this over here before I forget to do that. And now I need to solve this problem over here, so perhaps instead I'm going to do this. That's going to help us continue to fill that edge. It's going to leave that one rat there. With that rat there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're still okay. This central room has now been sacrificed. We probably want to fill that space, and now we want to find a way to get the blue kind of around this corner to keep that family going and to not cover that rat. It's not brilliant, but it is where we've ended up for this. Now over to our other player. Our penguin player is thinking, this is going okay for us right now. What do we need? We've kind of lost this orange stuff over here. Are we giving up on this lesson, or are we just going to put 2 orange cats out? We'll see what happens, but right now I don't mind. What I really want is blue cats, and you know what? We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to spend a fish and ensure that we get that blue cat, because there's only one more round, and we need to make sure we've got them going. We don't care about the edge of the boat. We just want to start filling this up, so that has gone quite well for us. We want to fill these spaces. Ideally, if we could get a blue cat that went into that gap, that would be magical, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Over to our turtle player, and they are thinking, I'm in trouble. The blue cats have gone. I probably need to move around this direction then with red, move towards this treasure and see what we can do. So what's going to be our best option for that? There is this one over here that is going to give us that fish. And I think that that's maybe going to be where we want to end up. And you know what? I think maybe it's time, because we are really going to have to push ourselves a little bit to go a little bit further. So we're going to move 1 and 2, and then we are going to spend 3 fish, which is going to allow us to choose 1 extra discovery. And we're going to take both of these 2 cats, and then we're going to gain 1 fish back, which is why I said 2 to get us in. And this is going to just mean that we've got a few more options with what we kind of want to do here. Now, what I'm kind of thinking to myself is this would be nice. Obviously, we can't do that. So what I'm thinking is we simply want to do that. Then we want to do that. That's going to allow us to move across. We're still leaving that space, which means we do need another red cat in a little bit, but that helps fill that gap. And now this is feeling a lot more manageable. We just need that blue cat to come out, and then maybe all will be good, but we will see what happens. Over to our penguin player. There's no more blue cats for them right now. We could take a green cat or a purple cat. The purple cat would be great because it would fill that area. The green cat would be good because it would get this treasure map, which would allow us to backfill some area, but maybe we're going to get that as well. We'll see what happens. I think we're going to come here and take the purple. That is going to nicely fill that space for us. We're not lesson cards are not going well. I mean, we've got 1 more blue cat. 2 more orange cats I don't think is going to happen for us. 2 points per orange or green. We've got 3 orange. We've got 3 green. So maybe maybe we can still make this work, because at least if we have 2 more green, then the extra oranges will be worth extra points as well. So maybe that would be worth it. We'll have a look to see what comes out in a little bit. Back to our turtle player, and they're wondering, what am I going to do? Do I just want to take the treasures? I mean, we're not going to get this. This is not worth it for us. So we could come over and get the green. But what is that green going to do? We need to have 2 families at the same size. At the moment, we've got a 4 and a 4. If we do that, then that would be a 5, which is a lot of extra points. So 4 to 5 is an extra 4 points. And if we got another red, which we do want to do, so maybe that would be worth it for us. But then maybe we just take the treasures. If we just take the treasures, we could fill that space and that space. Although this room we're not filling because of that rat, so we only need to fill that one. So I think we are going to come across and actually take the green cat, just because it's going to help us move up to a family of 5. That's an extra 4 points. And it allows us to bring the reds up to 5 without losing this as well. So that's gone okay for us. Our penguin player really wanted that green cat. That is not good for them. They are thinking, oh, I just 1 or more of each color touching the edge. I mean, I've got 3 colors. The green, I do want to fill this in, and then I just need a purple for 7 points. But maybe I need to work towards just getting the orange. There's no blues, so I could take that orange and just hope maybe, if I am lucky, I will get the right cards coming out. But then maybe I just take the red. Do I want to just take the red? Maybe I'm going to come over. Maybe we just come over and we take the red, because that red is then going to do this. It's going to give us a treasure, and we can take that treasure to take a 2, and we can fill this space over here. Now, what's interesting is we did come over here. Now we've got the red. You know what? I think we are actually going to spend the free fish to allow us to take an extra discovery that we cross. 7 points, you've got 1 or more of each color touching the edge. We've now got a red, we've got blues, we've got oranges, we've got purples. We just need a green, and that was done. So that red's potentially going to be worth 7 points to us if we just get that green cat, which we really want to happen. Our turtle player's thinking, do I take the orange? I mean, oh, it's so difficult, because we could just go for the random. If we go for the random, maybe we'll get the blue that we need, but that blue has got to be so specific. If we take the orange, it's not really going to do much for us. It's just going to bring our family up from 3 to 4, and we've got so much space here that we still need to fill in. If we take a random, maybe we'll get a red. Maybe we'll get the blue that we need. And you know, but that is definitely going to be worth 3 points to us. So this is the difficulty. Do I want to take that gamble, or do I want to push for it? And I think that at this moment in time, I think I want to play it safe, and I want to take the orange, because I just don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it. So we're just going to place this in here. What I want to do is try and really limit how much this blocks us. Make sure we've got room for the blue that's got to come out. This magical blue cat. I don't know where it's going to come from. Okay, so back to our penguin player, and they're thinking, you know, I'm not too worried about the treasure. I'm quite happy with where my boat is right now. Obviously, I'd like to fill this space, but we're hopefully going to have that option too anyway. I don't care about this. We're not going to do it. Do I want to take a random tile? A random tile could be good. I mean, basically any color is beneficial for me at this point, but is it worth spending a fish on it? I really don't think it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here, just leave it off, over to our turtle player. And now they've got to have that discussion once again. Do I want to spend a fish and take this for a random tile? Or do I want to just pass this round, move the Ojax to the middle, end it in the middle, knowing I'm going to be the starting player for the last round, and I've got that extra fish for extra options, which I think is the way to go. So I'm simply going to move this to the middle, not take anything. 2 turns in a row happen when no one takes anything, so everything that remains just simply gets discarded, and we are going to move into the final round. We're going to move the purple cat back into the bag, and we're going to see what comes out. We're going to get 5 more cards. Treasures are good for our turtle player. 7 points if you've got the most treasures could be good for either player. 7 points if you've got the largest family could be good. 2 points per red or blue, whichever you've got fewer. And 9 points if you've got exactly 5 green cats on your boat. We have got some interesting lesson cards coming out. I think a lot of those are achievable by at least one player. And now we're getting reds, we're getting purples. Where is that all important blue cat? Where is the important green cat? Where is the important orange cat? There is an orange cat. There is a blue cat, and there's an orange cat. So no green cats have come out, and that is tragic, absolutely tragic for our penguin player. But the thing is that we knew the risks. We knew. I mean, we know the other player's got 5 greens. We've got 3, so there aren't many left in that bag. This is one of the things, is that you can see how many tiles are out, so you know that it's unlikely for something to come out if there's only going to be 1 or 2 of them left in that bag. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's work it out for our turtle player. What do they need? They really wanted that blue cat to cover that treasure map, and that is not going to happen for them. It's the worst possible shape for going round a corner. So they do want it just to get that family. We're going to have to give up on this. There's a lot of red cats, so maybe that's going to go well for us. So I think to start with, we just need to take that blue cat, because not only is that going to make us get this family, but we know that our other player needed that blue cat, and now they're thinking, why didn't I take that random tile? Maybe I would have had that option, but they didn't. So they've now got a choice. Blues are done. They're not going to score that. Are they going to get the greens? The greens are done, so they're not going to be able to get that bigger, and their oranges are done. So they really, what they need to do right now is work out more lesson cards that they can achieve, because these have not gone well for them. So what are they going to do? 7 points, you've got the most treasures. So where are we at? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is not in our favor right now, but we could try and take this as well. 7 points for the largest family. We've got a 4. They've got a 5. Again, not in our favor, but maybe we want to take it to deny them. We won't get 7 points, but they won't get 7 points. So effectively, it's still kind of 7 points to us. 2 points for every red or blue cat. Again, that's more beneficial for them than us. And 9 points, you've got exactly 5 green cats, which is more beneficial to them than us. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to play a game of denial right now, and we are going to work as hard as we can to ensure that they aren't getting those extra points. So we're going to come up here, and we are simply going to take this. We know we're not going to do it, but they have done it. That's taking 9 points off them. Our turtle player, what are they going to do? They need to fill this edge. They want some reds. They're not even going to think about it. They're just coming in, taking this red, and they are doing this. They know that this area over here now has been lost to the blue cats, so they can start trying to fill this in a little bit with treasure and hope that it all works out for them. Back to our penguin player, they're thinking to themselves, well, what can I do? I can't take blue. I could try and build up some purple. Maybe getting that purple over here would be good. Maybe getting some red to fill this room over here would be beneficial to us. But again, I think that we just want to play that game of denial. This is going to be 7 points. Let's bring this over here. We've taken it. They're not going to score those 7 points. We're not going to score them, but that's okay. It stopped them. Back to our turtle player. They want to get this red cat. They are coming in, and they are absolutely desperate to ensure that they get this red cat. But we've got to make sure that we can fill the edge of our boat as much as possible. So they're going to place that in there. Back to our penguin player, and our penguin player is thinking, okay, maybe I do take this purple cat now. Maybe that's going to work. Maybe we're going to come over here, come down to this corner, spread out a little bit, and we're going to get that purple. Maybe we just build up this purples, and now maybe with purples we can get the biggest family. There are 3 more purple cats. I hadn't even considered that. So we can get the largest family and build this family up. So that's us now. We're going purple, 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 build them up. 5 points per extra cat tile we get onto there, and those 7 points on that bonus. But our turtle player is over the moon because they have managed to snap this. And not only have they snapped this, they have now filled the outside edge of their boat. And they have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rats still visible. So we have managed to get our 5 visible rats. Fill the edge of the boat. We're going to get points for all of these cats. Have we got 2 families of the same size though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reds. Oh my goodness, the purple guys are going to struggle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness. But there are oranges. We could get another orange. If we get another orange onto here, that's going to be 4, up to 5, matching with the 5. So we just need one more orange, and then we're probably done. It's just going to be a case of, can we get one of those oranges to fit and sit inside our boat without covering those rats? Now, we also would like to fill that. Maybe a treasure over here and a treasure over there would be really beneficial to fill those 2 rooms. But our penguin player, are we going to have the most treasures? We're not. Are we going to have the largest family? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to take all of these purple cats if we're going to build that up and cover these rooms and fill that space and do as much as we can. So I think that we are now just going all out for these purples. We're going to cover those rats, get that going. That's us done. Over to our other player. They want to take the treasures. I think they're going to take the treasures. Why do I keep knocking this over? We're going to take these. We're going to put this one down here. And then we're going to take our 2 treasures to fill those 2 spaces. We do need to ensure that we fill those to get those rooms done. It's going to be 1 over there, 1 over there. That is going to be great for us. Our other player is thinking, I really, really want that purple cat. I'm going to come over. 1, 2, take the purple cat. It would have been nice to have put this one here, but there's no way we're going to achieve that. Placing that one down there. Back to our turtle player, and they're thinking, what do I want to do? 2 points for every red or blue cat I've got. That's going to be 6 points for us. But if I manage to get this one up, it's going to bring back the 8 points to this, and it's going to increase this family size. So we do want an orange cat. The question is, do any of the orange cats fit without covering any of the rats we've got? This orange cat, I do not think so. But if we come over here, we can take this one, and this one is going to fit in here quite nicely for us, connecting it up to a 5 and a 5, not covering those. That is really good news for us. And now over to our other player, and they are thinking, I am going to get to take this purple cat. But did I give myself room? I didn't think about it. I just stuck this one in this gap because it looked good. But by doing so, I can't place this. It's not going to fit. If I place this one down here, oh my goodness, it's not going to fit. It is not going to fit. Oh, that is devastating. So instead, what are we going to do? We are going to have to, again, play that game of denial. We're going to have to come up here. We want to take this away from our other player. So we're going to come up here. We're going to take this. We'll move this over onto this side at this point, just to make sure that we can see it. Back to our turtle player. They do have the most treasures. They do have a fish. They're going to go 1, 2, and 3. They're going to spend their fish to come over here. And I think that our turtle player is going to have won this by absolutely miles. And our penguin, oh, the devastation, the devastation, the devastation. They did not get a purple cat. The orange cat is not, I mean, I guess they could still come in, take the orange cat, and at least put it here and fill that end space. Our turtle player is going to come over. They don't want this purple cat. They're going to move over to here, and we could still take it. But I just don't think we can get it to fit on our boat. So we're simply going to move over to this corner, and we're going to say that's the end of the game. So that is the game. Let's add up some scores and let's see who won. I am pretty confident our turtle player is going to have won by a considerable amount, but we'll see. We managed to hate draft them quite a lot in the end. So let's work our way through the blue families. 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here is going to be 11 points for our penguin. And over here is 3. It's going to be 8 points for our turtle. Our green families over here is going to be 1, 2, and 3, which is going to be 8 points. And for our turtle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is going to be 15 points. On to the orange families, we've got 1, 2, 3. This one does not count, so it's going to be 8 points. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is going to be 15. It's just so many points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here, which is going to be 25. Whilst over here we've got 0, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here, which is 25. And for us, it's going to be 0. So let's have a look at our lessons. 2 points for every red or blue cat, whichever you've got fewer. The fewest we've got is the red, which is simply going to be 2 points for us. 9 points, you've got exactly 5 blue, which we didn't do. 9 points, you've got exactly 5 orange. which we didn't do. 2 points per orange or green, whichever you've got fewer. We've only got the 3 green, which is going to be 6 points for us. 7 points, we've got 1 or more each colour touching the edge, which we did not do. 9 points for exactly 5 greens, which we did not do. 7 points if you've got the largest family. We have got a 7. They have got a 7. And as it says, in the case of a tie, you get the points. So at least we got the points for that. But that is embarrassing for us. Okay, over to our turtle player. 1 point per 2 cats touching the edge of your boat. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 over here. And that is going to give us 7 points. 12 points if there are no empty spaces at the edge of your boat. I believe we did achieve that. This is going to be absolutely devastating. 12 points for exactly 5 visible rats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be 12 points for this one. 8 points if you've got 2 families the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do have 2 the same size. That's going to be 8. 7 points if you've got the most treasures. I believe we do, but let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, we do have that as well. The difference there, staggering, not getting that orange, not getting that blue, pushing it too much, letting the other player take them, not taking that tile from the bag. So many mistakes that we could have avoided. And we've not even done a great job with filling our rooms, have we really? I mean, oh my goodness. All rats. 1, 2, 3, 4 rats over here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rats over here. So at least we've won at something, even though they aimed to not get those rats. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms on this side, minus 20 points for that. And over here, we've got 1, 2, and 3. So minus 15. Wow, I don't even know if it's worth adding up these scores, but let's have a quick look. We've got 19, 27, we've got 40, 52, 54, 60, 67, 63, and that brings us down to 43 points. 43 does not sound good, does it? 8, 23, 33, 38, 58, 63, 70, 78, 80, 90, 102, 109, 104, 94, 89 points. And wow, 43 points for our penguin and 89 points for our turtle player. Now, luckily, I was playing as a turtle player, which means that I am the winner. But as you can see, the Isle of Cats Duel is a game about making sure that you position the Oshak so you can get what you need to get, but also denying the other player. It's also a case of paying attention to what the other players are doing. We really wanted to make sure that we got that extra green cat, but we should have noted that they had 5 greens, which means that we were going to have a lesser chance of getting that extra green. Likewise over here, they didn't go for purple and we had loads of purple. We didn't really go for red. They had loads of red. Paying attention to the other player, seeing their lesson cards and knowing what they're working towards, and just trying to outplay them in both your own objectives and nullifying their objectives. The Isle of Cats Duel is a short, quick, fun, direct, interactive version of the Isle of Cats, portable. And if you've got any questions at all, please feel free to ask in the comments below. And until next time, keep on adventuring.